Good evening, Garden City. I'd like to call to order regular City Council meeting for December 8th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Our first order of business is our opening ceremony, which consists of the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance with Chad Taylor Jr., who's from Farmington, that's going to help me lead us. And then we'll have a moment of silence for those service members who have given their lives for our country. If everyone would please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Ken. Nice job. Have a seat, and then we'll call back up in a minute. Thank you, Chad. It was an excellent job. Mr. Smith, if you take roll call, please.
Mayor Jacobs?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dold?
Here.
Councilmember Hughes?
Here.
Councilmember Witt?
Here.
Councilmember King?
Here.
Councilmember Dold?
Here.
Councilmember Karafotis?
Here.
You have a quorum of 7.
Okay, thank you. Item 4 is the approval of the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Witt.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Monday, December 8th council meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's cold.
Support from Mayor Pro Tem Dold. Discussion from table? From the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, we have recognition. Move down here. So what we have today, Chad led us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Chad and his sisters did an awesome job for us. And before I call them up here, I just want to say, when I go to schools and different events, I always get asked, especially by the kids, what's your favorite part of my job? And it's always this, doing stuff with the kids and recognizing them for things they do in the community. Because most of the time, they do it because they want to and not because they're being forced to. And it's great when you guys step up and take it upon yourselves for that initiative. So that is my favorite part of the whole job, is getting to recognize you guys. So with that, I'm going to call up Chad Taylor Jr., who is 10 years old from Farmington, Dorothy Taylor, 14 years, Garden City High School freshman, and Penny Taylor, 13 years old, from Garden City Middle School. We've got some certificates for you guys, and I'm going to read what it says. They're all kind of the same. It says, on behalf of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Garden City, we extend our sincere thanks and recognition to Chad, Dorothy, and Penny for their efforts in conducting a park cleanup at Kiwanis Park on November 15th, 2025. By taking the initiative to organize a park cleanup and demonstrating pride in your community at such a young age, your hard work can serve as an inspiring example for others. Thank you, Taylor family, for your hard work and commitment to keeping Garden City clean and green, and for your positive impact on the community. The City of Garden City wishes nothing but success in all that you do. And again, thank you very much. You guys did an outstanding job. I got that for Chad and Dorothy. And for Penny. Thank you. And I think we can bring the family up, Mom and Dad, Miss Erica Taylor and Mr. Chad Taylor Sr. Good. Thank you guys again. Chad, great idea, and proud to have you guys come up here and get recognized. Okay, item 6, I don't see any state or county officials. We have no presentations, no community events, no petitions or communications. We have a public hearing on the sidewalk special assessment program, and for that, explain that real quick, I'll call up our DPW director, Mr. Brad Oman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This year's program was conducted in the southwest portion of the city, addressing trip hazards greater than 1 inch. Over 3,000 properties were inspected, and about 655 properties were found to have some type of sidewalk replacement. The work was completed in July. The costs to the residents were for a 4-inch 5x5 flag, $228.56. For a 6-inch 5x5 flag was $257.75.
Okay. That kind of explains it, and now I'll open up the public comments for anybody wishing to speak on this matter. This is only on the sidewalk special assessment. Anybody, come on up, sir.
When would all the bills
Can you, we can't hear real well. Thank you.
I just wondered when they were going to get the bills actually to the people as to when they could pay on them. Would they be assessed to the taxes, or would that be a special billing?
I believe it goes on taxes. Brian?
So February 1st is when they will be billed. If they're not paid by next year, then they default to the taxes.
Okay,
But
so
it's its own separate
You'll get the
bill.
bill mailed to you for the work that was done? It'll be mailed to you, or how?
Correct, yeah, it will be mailed to you.
Okay.
Yep, so the resolution tonight is to approve the roll, and it sets the billing date for February 1st, 2026.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, further comments? I'll ask again, anybody with a comment on the sidewalk assessment? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Item 11 is our consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Witt.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A 1 through 6, including 6A through F as presented.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Hughes. Discussion from table. Councilmember Dole.
I'd like to make a motion to move A6 to action items. Support.
Okay.
So the motion on right now is to approve it in its entirety. So the maker and second could revise that to make 6 an action item, or we can vote on the motion that was first presented.
Yeah, because we can discuss anything just like it was an action item with the motion on there. So it'd be no different discussing
I just
it.
want to separate out 6, A through F. A6 and then A through F. I want to separate that from approval of the consent agenda.
Any specific reason to it?
To be able to address each
Each one
commission.
separately?
Okay, I mean, we can do it.
However, I need to do that.
We can do it
Mr.
the same,
Smith.
we can do it this way right now, or we can move it, if the maker and the supporter want to move it, separate it, we can do it that way. But we can basically use it as an action item now, and we can discuss the board and commissions right now.
So what I would recommend is, because the consent agenda is generally just a motion to support, approve with limited discussion. So if members of the council would wish to discuss that as an action item, I would recommend, if the maker and second were amicable to it, to amend the motion to make item 6 an action item. But like I said, maker and second have control of the floor on it. So the other option, if they don't wish to do that, is we could take a vote to approve it as made.
Okay, so that's Councilmember Witt, Councilmember Hughes. Either way, it's going to be up for discussion.
I mean, I don't see a need in doing each of them separately, but, I mean, what are your thoughts?
If there's a point of discussion that you want to make, then we should make that available. And if we make it a motion or an action item, I'm sorry, or keep it as it is, what's the outcome if somebody has an objection to one of the appointees?
So then if right now, the way it's presented is if anyone had an objection to any of the appointees, like they would have to make a no vote on the motion for the consent agenda.
Okay,
So-
either way, it's the same thing, essentially?
Correct. Yeah, the motion as it's made right now is voting on the entire package, items
Oh,
1
okay.
through 6.
So we can't
Yes or no. It wouldn't,
individualize.
the way the motion's made, it would have to be all yes or all
Oh, okay,
no.
all right.
Is there one specifically of the items?
Yes.
Which one?
Now.
Well,
It's
He's discussing amending it.
I'm discussing for my decision, yeah.
It's under the Planning Commission, C.
Okay, so I mean, I'll amend it to approve the consent agenda items A 1 through 6, not including 6C, the Planning Commission, and have a separate vote on that for a discussion.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine, thank you.
You support?
I support.
okay. Further discussion from table? From the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, we'll make that action item 4. Action item 1 is going to be what we just had the public hearing on, the sidewalk program special assessment. Motion is in order.
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem Dole.
I motion to approve the attached resolution number 5 to confirm special assessment roll 4240, 2024 and 2025 sidewalk program.
Support. Or from Councilmember King. Discussion from table. From the public. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Mayor,
Councilmember Karafotis.
can you just explain that maybe to the public? Because a lot of people were confused about why it says 24 and 25. Like, that we're just approving that the work was already done and that we're billing people now. A lot of residents asked me about that today.
I believe that's just a matter of,
Or maybe
we do it
city
during the
manager can
summer.
bill it.
Yeah.
Just a brief point of clarification is that, yes, this is council approving the billing of the work that's already been done for the 24-25 sidewalk program. It was completed by Rotundo. The work's been done. It's been accounted for. Now it's been brought to council for the authority to bill and assess to the taxes if necessary.
And just to add on, so yeah, so in 2024, Rotundo, they were running behind, so they didn't get to complete. The work was done in '25, so we couldn't bill it until the work was done. So that's why ones that were flagged in '24 were just done this year and now are included. So that's why it's 24, 25.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item 2 is our 26 Wayne County Annual Road Permits. Mr. Omen.
Yes, Mayor. Our Wayne County road permits, these permits allow us to perform work within the county right-of-way with all county roads within the city, water main maintenance, sewer, storm sewer maintenance, restoration permit, and also a permit for special events. We have to deter traffic or lane closures, so this is an annual thing.
Okay, thank
And
you.
there are no fees associated with these permits.
Very good, thank you.
Mayor?
Okay, Councilmember Dole.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the attached resolution authorizing the execution of Wayne County permits for the 2026 calendar year.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Karafotis. Discussion from table. From the public. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item 3 is a Radcliffe restroom renovation, and I will call Mr. Zach King, our Parks and Rec Director.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is a bid to complete the work for the restroom renovations project going on at Radcliffe. As you guys remember, last council meeting, we brought forward the contract with the CDBG for the grant funding for this project. We have now secured a contractor and provided a sole source quote. This bid is sole source because if you remember back in April, we approved all phases of the lowest qualified bidder for restroom group 1, that first restroom when you walk in the building. A little bit later, we found more money, actually in that same CDBG grant, and we worked with them on bathroom group 2. Now we're extending that same contractor preference for 3 and 4, now that we've secured additional funding through CDBG. Both restrooms will go full modernization to meet accessibility standards, including improving lighting, flooring, an ADA-compliant stall, upgraded partitions, water fountains, improved ventilation, and plumbing fixtures. We are also customizing one of the restrooms to meet the needs of one of our renters and another restroom to meet the needs of another renter in the building. Not long-term, the bathrooms will always still be available for everyone moving forward if those renters aren't still there, but this helps them in the time they're in now, so. Any questions?
Mayor?
Councilmember Karafotis.
I just have questions. We know the person that, or the company that bid this is very reliable and does great work, but I was just curious, sometimes when we have other bids, it shows things like line totals, and like when we did the heating and the cooling, it said like what brand of heat, you know, whatever they're going to use. Does this include like a certain quality of equipment, or?
So actually, this entire project was put together by the Detroit Architect Group. So there are drawings for these rooms they are following. So those standards were put forward in those drawings. I probably should have included those in here. I did not. But this bid is put together from those drawings. The Detroit
So there's
Architect
certain
Group.
standards that the bid had to apply to anyway?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And for reference of like actual what you have seen, the goal is to make the bathrooms look exactly like the ones across from Dance Express. Those center restrooms that a little bit more budget friendly than the one up front, with a little more budget friendly fixtures and stuff like that. Our goal is to match those to the other two.
Okay, thank you.
So, yep.
Okay, motion is in order.
Mayor?
Councilmember Witt.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a bid with All Phases Ceilings and Carpentry, sole source vendor, in the amount of $302,250 for the restroom renovation project at the Radcliffe Center.
Support.
Report from Mayor Pro Tem Dole. Discussion from the table. From public. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, now we'll go to item 6C that we moved from the consent agenda. Need a motion first, and then we can go into discussion. Thank you. Bye.
How does Howard read?
the motion to move it?
So we moved this from the
moved
consent
it.
agenda to an
Action
action
item,
item.
so-
So
Yeah, we
now
still
what
have
we
to-
would need would be a motion regarding an action for the appointment to open it up to discussion.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to, I don't know how to, I'd like to make a motion to not reappoint Eric Walls to the Planning Commission.
Support.
Now, looking at their attendance record,
Hold on,
Oh.
hold on. It's Commissioner, or Councilmember Karafotis. All right, now discussion.
okay,
Go ahead.
Mayor?
Yep.
So when we received the packet, we looked at all the reappointments that are on here. Our Planning Commission and our Zoning Commission are extremely important to the city. And I know Mr. Walls personally, so this wasn't easy to do, but looking at his attendance record, he's attended less than 50% of the meetings in the last 2 years, and I think that's something that needs to be addressed. There are very important items that go up before these commissions, and they have to have commissioners that are going to be there on a regular basis.
I agree, and I've talked to Mr. Walls about it. The problem is we don't have any qualified candidates that have put in for it, so at some point, some other people will miss meetings, some that he can be at. So we haven't lost the quorum on that, but I didn't see a point in not reappointing him when I have nobody else to put on there. As you said, it's an important board. Planning Commission, ZBA, they need some experience. They got to have qualifications. So my personal opinion is it's better to have somebody there that can make it some of the time than just have an open seat. And you've been at this table long enough. I've asked for volunteers we need them for all boards and commissions, and we haven't gotten anybody.
So if we fill all the seats and we have somebody apply, we can't put them in there because all the seats are filled until we
Not
get an
necessarily.
expiration date.
We can terminate a
I can always remove. I can always remove with council approval.
Mayor?
I just thought that it's hard enough to get volunteers, and they do have work obligations. They have, and I know he's missed a lot, and he does some traveling, and now he's got a new baby that takes up some time. But again, without...
Well, I agree, and I commend him for being willing to do it, but there has to be a commitment on his end to try to make these meetings.
Sure. I agree, but there's other people on other boards also. But again, if there's not anybody willing to apply or have the qualifications to be on it, I feel it's better to have somebody in the seat than it is to just leave it vacant, just on the happen chance that we have a meeting and we don't have a quorum because maybe he could have been there and he's not. That was my thinking on it.
Mayor?
Hold on a second. Councilmember King.
I would also agree that obviously attendance is important so we can fully represent the residents and also, of course, meeting quorum. But I guess I'm taking a different approach on this. I would like to see a policy or procedure put in place similar to what I think the DDA has. If you miss more than, I don't know, say 3 consecutive meetings or more than 4 a year, you're up for review. So that we're not kind of arbitrarily doing these rules for different people. I just want to make sure it's fair across the board, and I think it would be good to have a policy or procedure in place.
Like the DDA is they do it if it's an unexcused. So say you get sick and you're in the hospital for 3 months, whatever amount of time it is, and you miss those meetings, they're excused absences that wouldn't necessarily automatically kick in a disqualification from it.
Right, and maybe that would still be applied in with this new policy or procedure for the other boards and commissions. If you miss more than, like I said, maybe it's up for debate for whatever council wants to do, but if it's 2 consecutive meetings or 3 through the year or 4 for the year, whatever we decide on, it's up for review. And at those times, if we have somebody on the waiting list for that particular commission, we could then remove that person due to they knew the policy, and it didn't meet the requirement for attendance. We could then reappoint somebody. I wouldn't want somebody for the planning commission, somebody is on the waiting list and we're just arbitrarily going to pick somebody to kick off. I'd rather see a set policy.
That would, getting off this subject, that would be something that we would have to do either in a workshop or put on an agenda for a future meeting, council meeting. For right now, we're just discussing the Eric Walls appointment.
Mayor.
I guess just to add to that, I guess I would not be in favor of not reappointing them without having a policy or procedure that's across the board.
Okay. Councilmember Karafotis.
Exactly what Councilmember King said was the same thing that I was going to suggest. I mean, as a council, that's one of the ways that we would get kicked off is because of our attendance. That's one of the few ways that you could get rid of someone up here. That should be across city boards, and not just talking about Mr. Walls, but there's other people on that same board. We're not talking about a couple meetings. We're talking 13 out of 19 meetings. That's crazy. I mean, you can't be a functioning board if people are missing 11 out of 19 times or 13 out of 19 times. It's unacceptable. And I watched some of those meetings recently, and every single absence is excused, no matter what it is. So when is it not excused? So there has to be, I agree with Dom, it has to be some kind of policy for every board, just like there is for us.
I agree. I mean, again,
Right.
So can we?
agree, but again.
Can we table the appointment then until we come up with a policy?
Well, Mayor, I don't know
Councilmember
about
Hughes.
leaving the vacancy, until we discuss it. I think we need to have the board intact as the way it's been until we make a policy.
But it's not really intact because they're not going anyway.
We're not what? I'm sorry?
They're not going to the meetings anyway, so it's
Well, yeah, I don't think, leaving it, denying him, and then we'd have to, he'd have to reapply and things.
we have a
so.
meeting next Monday, right?
Wouldn't be on a Monday.
Next Monday, we have a meeting, two in a
We
row.
do, council does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mayor, I would like to say that I'm not looking at this to arbitrarily not reappoint commissioners to these boards. It's my understanding that this, when we're reappointing them or appointing them to begin with, is when we have some say over this. That's why. So these people came up for reappointment. I asked for attendance records specifically, and I will say I specifically asked for planning and zoning because those are two of the most important boards on here.
Sure.
So, and this is some of the information I found. Again, but to my understanding, this is when we have a say in who sits on these boards, when we appoint them or when we reappoint them. So that's why it was brought up tonight. Again, Mr. Walls is a great guy. When he's at the commission meetings, he's doing a fantastic job. But the point is, all of our commissioners need to be at as many meetings as possible. If you're going to miss them once in a while, that happens. Life happens.
It's a volunteer position, sure.
Right, and it is a volunteer position, but,
No, and I agree with everything you say. Again, my point is,
I understand your point. I do. And I agree with Councilmember King about, I think that maybe we do need to look at it, but it gets a little tricky because it is a volunteer position, but at the same time, so is the DDA board. So, those things are in place. I think we could do that. We could put a policy into place. I think we should do that.
again, I think that would be at a later, it wouldn't be for tonight right now.
Right.
It's just on this one. And again, I can bring before council removing a board member for lack of attendance at a time when, we have somebody, if we get somebody.
Okay.
But, my thing is, we don't have anybody. I think it's better to put somebody, at least have him on the board when he can make it, than to not. That's my opinion, and, that would be up for a vote from council.
Well, I have to say I do agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Further comments from the table?
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem Dole.
can we set up a workshop to discuss these commissioners and do's and don'ts? And I also notice in our budget that money was removed for training for commissioners. Am I seeing that right?
I'd have to look at this
Because
specific.
I attend a lot of these meetings, and the difference between commission to commission is unbelievable. And this is just my opinion, but say Parks and Rec Commission, them people are top-notch. There's like serious professional discussions. I just can't say enough. From 0 to 100, they're like 99 because none of us are perfect. Then I go to the Planning Commission. It's like the Zoning Commission and Planning Commission are two of the most important commissions in this city. And I don't know how to say it, but it's like 50-50. 50% of the old timers know what they're doing, 50% of the new ones have no idea. The last critical zoning commission we had meeting was unbelievable. I'm sitting in the attendance thinking, are you kidding me? It was like a deer with the headlights on. They had no idea what to do. So they just followed along with McKenna's recommendations, and it was,
Yeah,
but yeah, I would
we
I'd like to
can
get
set up a
set
workshop.
up.
Right now, we're just discussing Eric.
All right, I'm through.
Mr. Smith?
I was just going to say, we could set up a workshop to discuss the policy, or if, I don't want to speak out of turn, if it's appropriate for council, I can work with the city manager to kind of create a policy that, while a lot of the boards have their own bylaws that they follow on that, I don't see any conflict with us creating a council policy, because our boards and commissions are appointed by the mayor, approved by council, to put together some sort of policy that says, you know, if you don't attend 75% of the meetings in a given year, it triggers a review by council. You know, like maybe like, as the mayor mentioned,
Well, right
I
now
was
we're getting off-
hospitalized for a couple months, you know, things like that.
Right now,
But it
we're
doesn't
getting
say
off
it's an
subject. Right now, we're
do that. It's-
Right now, we're talking about the Eric Walls appointment. The workshop we can discuss after, which I don't have a problem setting it up for Monday at 6, just to give you guys direction. But right now, the motion on the floor is about Eric Walls. So,
Mayor?
hold on, Mr. Givens.
No, you just to reiterate the clerk, we can do a little bit of research and bring forth the necessary stuff for council to vote, and then and we can move on to the appointment.
Okay. I think if we wanted to set up a workshop in the council comments, somebody could make a motion to set that up.
But we don't have to have a
Me would be
motion.
the better way to do it.
But we don't need a workshop. They're saying that they're going to put it together and bring it to
Okay, well,
council.
then there wouldn't be a motion at that time. But right now,
But we're talking about if it's next week, if we'll table the appointment till next Monday. Is that what you meant?
No, my point was that, you know, just that, you know, without a workshop, we can still provide the information. And plus, even if we did, I would hope that would be into January, just to give us the amount of time to provide the necessary information to make, for council to make a decision, whether it's a workshop or just a motion, something
Okay.
for the agenda. So.
Councilmember King.
I just wanted to mention regarding the attendance, and I know the public doesn't have this in front of them, but it was sent to all of council. There's actually another person on the planning commission that has worse attendance
That's the one
than
I
the person
mentioned.
we're speaking of.
That's right,
And-
but they weren't up for reappointment, that's
Right, I guess that leads me to feel that a policy is a better approach, because once we put the policy in place, if somebody falls into that, we can move the appropriate person. If we don't reappoint this person, I just don't think I don't know if the person even knows what the expectation was. Obviously, you know, you need to show more than half the meetings, but I just think putting a policy in place first, if they continue to the same track record they have, it'll be up before spring of probably next year, and then we can take appropriate action at that point.
Okay. So right now, the motion on the floor is Eric Walls. And I forget how the wording went.
Can you rescind it?
Yeah, just a point of clarification for the vote. A yay vote is a vote to not reappoint a nay.
Or,
I'm going to rescind the motion until we look at it further, get the reviews. I do agree with you, having him there, hopefully he'll be able to attend the meetings, but we do need to, it's something that as a council, we need to keep an eye on these things, so.
Absolutely. Councilmember Carefotis, do you agree?
Yes, can I make a motion to appoint Eric Walls to the board?
Sure. No, first we have to vote on the,
Well, I think she pulled it.
but we still have to vote on it, because there's a motion.
He pulled it, right, you got to vote on it.
So it's, if the maker and second have both agreed that they have rescinded the motion, they've pulled it
done.
back.
Nothing
Don't have to vote on that. Okay. So now,
Councilwoman Karafotis made a motion, I supported.
to appoint him. Okay.
Go point.
All in favor?
Okay, discussion on, I think we've had enough discussion on appointing him, or not appointing him, but this is a motion to appoint him. Anybody from the public wishing to speak? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Okay, moving on. We have no other business. Item 13 is public comment. Non-agenda items only. You'll have 3 minutes. Please state your name and if you have any comments. Anybody wishing to speak? Mr. Jones.
This Friday, the Garden City Senior Center is sponsoring a Christmas party, $20 for residents, $25 for non-residents. Actually, I think that has been reduced to 20 and 15.
I think you're right.
I do not know. 20 and 15? Count?
20 and 15.
20 and 15. There'll be music, drink, food, raffles, 50/50. I'm sure it'll be a great time. It's this Friday from 12 to 2, and we urge all of our seniors who can attend to do so.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak? Nobody else wishing to speak? Okay. City Manager, your report. Mr. Gibbons.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just brief, one, we, as council's aware and the public is likely aware, we had a fire last night on Middle Belt, and I just want to commend our fire department, the agencies who responded, all of our neighbors came to assist. They did a fantastic job of containing the fire in some cold temperatures, and it's no fun to be out there, and I just thank our fire department, the agencies responded, and all the other departments. DPS was out salting the roads to make sure it didn't ice. Police were out taking care of traffic, and just a job well done dealing with a tough situation.
Give them a round of applause for that.
And then second, Council, I will make contact with the clerk during the course of this week, develop maybe some policy recommendations. We'll do a little study of how all of our boards, maybe to get them all in line, and maybe look at some outside community rules and see if there's some manners in which we could bring that would satisfy council's concerns about this issue. And then last but not least, of course, I just need to congratulate the Divine Child High School varsity football team who won the Division IV state championship on the day after Thanksgiving. Just been an awesome season by them, and just can't help but be proud of the coaches and the players who some of the best football I've watched in a long, long time. Maybe I'm a little biased, but
I think you know someone on there.
I may know someone on the team, and some of the people were. So just great job by them, super proud, and they actually had a little parade in Dearborn for them today, and it was really neat. So that is all for me. And,
Congratulations and thank you. Mr. Smith.
Just 2 things this evening. I was told we are still taking children's letters for Santa Claus at City Hall this week. The cutoff for that is this Friday at 4:30. Letters can be dropped off during business hours, so 9 till 5, up to Thursday, and then Friday, 8 till 4:30. The other thing I was told is this is the last week for compost pickup. I think the weather is going to be a little bit, deter people who want to do that last yard work of the season, but just so you know, this is the last full week for compost pickup.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Dole.
I'd also like to thank all involved, police, fire, DPW, and I'm happy to hear that you all went home safe to your families. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Hughes.
I concur, and I'm grateful. I can't say enough for our people who go out on these occasions, and they put their lives on the line. And that's not anything I take lightly, and I'm greatly appreciative to all that they contribute to this community.
That's it.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Witt.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, just want to thank everyone for either volunteering, being in, or watching the parade in whichever medium you chose to watch the parade. Great success all around as it happened to be. And then in turn with that, with the volunteers and everyone else from the city who actually steps in and helps. You got police that help block the road off for us, DPS doing the same thing, blocking off the major roads. All of the workers that help throughout with the volunteers, checking everyone in, all the way through carrying banners, all the way through the parade. With that being said, a couple of guys from DPS, I don't have all their names, so I won't list anyone specifically. I know a few that I spoke to the night before the parade. They were out on Central with a water main break at, I believe, as early as 7:30 that night, trying to contain it. I was back out at 7 a.m. the next morning with the new crew that took over. They were all in good graces. I know it was a tough break. It broke after they fixed it and had to, continue working. I just want to give a huge shout out to them because a lot of those guys the night before did their 16 hours, put in, went home, slept. The new crew that came in took over, put their hours in after they had everything closed up in time for the parade, thankfully. That group that was in there from midnight the night before went all the way back to DPS, cleaned the trucks, and was back out the entire day for the parade for us. So, big, kudos and thank you to the gentlemen that were out there in very, very cold temperatures throughout the night. So big shout out DPS all around, especially during winter with all these water main breaks. It's not easy. If you're a resident who happens to see a water main break in your area, don't be the one that goes on Facebook that just sees three guys, looking into a hole, because I stood there and I talked with the guys. The three guys looking into the hole are making sure the hole doesn't collapse on the guy in the hole. And they take turns switching out because people get cold. It's a lot of water rushing in their face and, taking on while they're down there. So it's not just three guys looking in a hole. They're doing a heck of a lot of work down there and, keeping the water mains fixed after breaks like that. So just a huge shout out to DPS specifically for that. But that is all that I have.
Thank you. Councilmember King.
No, just same with the city manager, Jeff Dole, everybody else has said regarding the fire department for their work in containing the fire, all the departments that assisted them, and the neighboring communities that helped. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Dole.
Well, first off, we have the best first responders here in Garden City, so, and I will reiterate, just happy to know that everybody went home safe and sound, and you guys all everybody did a fantastic job. The Kiwanis Club of Garden City is doing their selfies with Santa this Saturday, the 13th, at Barson's Greenhouse. Is it 12 to 3 or 11 to 2? Do you remember, Mike? Shoot. I believe it's 12 to 3. Barson's Greenhouse is located at Merriman and Maplewood. We'll have some goodies for the kids, hot chocolate cookies, stuff like that. I wanted to also thank Mr. Alan Bennett and the cast and crew of The Diary of Anne Frank that the high school put on recently. That was a hard story to tell, and as usual, the students did a fantastic job doing it. The only other thing I wanted to bring up, and I'm not going to say a whole lot because I know that Councilwoman Karafotis is going to speak about it too, is just that recently, not even recently, since I've been on council, it seems like a lot of the new development that comes into Garden City, we're getting asked for variances constantly. Some of these variances recently, they're 100%. It's 100%. Just do away with that whole requirement. And we've got boards that are agreeing to that. And I just have to say, in some circumstances, it makes sense to waive a requirement or reduce a requirement. But if we look back, probably in the last 3 years, I think almost every single new business that has come in to do development here has asked us for some kind of variance. And these things are in place for a reason to begin with. So when we have someone come in and ask for multiple variances on one property, and they're huge variances, they're not little things like, oh, can I reduce this from 100 feet to 95 feet? These are big variances, and they're just approved basically out of hand. It bothers me, and I think we need to start taking a hard look at that, too. And I believe that Councilwoman Karafotis has some numbers to give on that, too. So that's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Karafotis.
Well, I wanted to start with, obviously, the fire department's awesome. It was nice to see the ladder truck that we got last year in action. I think there was hundreds of residents that were out watching that fire, and they were all amazed by the job they did, so that's awesome. I wanted to mention at Radcliffe, there's a whole setup for holiday photos. If you go there and take your picture there with your family or your kid, you can hashtag the Parks and Rec, and you can win a gift card. Also, there's a Christmas tree contest at Radcliffe. The council has one. Lots of our businesses and our clubs and our charities have one, so take a stroll over at Radcliffe. That's also a contest. When we talked about the appointments and for boards, this isn't the first time this has been brought up. This has been brought up multiple years. Over and over again. It's brought up when these people are getting appointed about not being able to attend, and it just keeps getting ignored. So I'm really glad we're going to look into the a protocol for that. So I'm looking forward to that. When we talk about people missing meetings, it's important, and we have lots of qualified people on our boards, and I mean a lot of qualified people, and some of them are newer. And they have that background. They have that construction background, and they do their due diligence, and they know what they're talking about. But I still think that we need to provide continuing education, because I've asked for this since before I got on council, so it's been for at least 5 years that we're asking these people to be volunteers, and we're asking them to approve things to develop our city, but we're not providing them with the training. So if you're not providing them with the training, then you can't be mad when they don't make the right choices. So I just think that that's important, and I know that when we trimmed our budget down, we did take out continuing education for all the boards. So that's something, when we're doing the budget this year, if we have the money, if our water bills are paid, something that we can add in there so that people are going. I know quite a few people have been on boards or not on boards, and I talked with a few today, and all of them said there's been absolutely nothing. So I think we need more than just a little handout that says, here are our ordinances, or here are our books. The one thing that Councilwoman Dole was talking about was variances, and I agree with that. I know things in Garden City are approved by right. There's lots of things. If there's a gas station in this area and gas stations are allowed by right, we have to let them do that. I don't think a lot of residents understand that, but this is America. If it's listed that you can have a gas station at Ford and Hubbard, you can have a gas station at Ford and Hubbard. But there's other things that are not coming to council, whether it's from the zoning board or state requirements, but I think our variances either need to be changed, because if we have a variance and it says the lot has to be 20,000 square feet and we're granting 12,000 square feet, that's a big deal. That's not a little bit, that's 39% that we're telling them it's okay. If the egress has to be 25 feet and we say, oh, no egress, that's 100% that we're just saying, well, we have this rule, but not today. So I think we need to either look at our variances and decide if those are working for us, and if they're not, then let's change them. But just to constantly say every time a new business comes in the town, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do that. There's people that have been on our boards for, I don't know how long Fred May's been on there.
A long time.
For a long time, and he knows why we put those things in there and why we put those in place for a good reason. So we need to revisit that. And along with that, those things, I would like to ask, what about the master plan? Where are we? Does anybody know?
I know as far as the master plans go, a significant portion of it is being amended per that grant that was received by the community development director. And
but this is 3 years now since I brought up working on the master plan. This is,
yeah,
so
and
are we almost there?
McKenna is actively working on the amendment from, we did that, I think it was Charette. And
Yeah.
they took information from the public and are putting together recommendations.
Do we have a timeline? Like I said, it's been 3 years since McKenna started on this.
Yeah, I'll get you a timeline.
Okay. I think that's very important that we have our master plan updated and that we start to follow it and that we start to develop our community in the way that we want it to be, not just develop a master plan and then don't do anything, because that's exactly what we did with the last one. We haven't done anything that we said we were going to do. So that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. I have a few things. It's been a little while, but I want to thank the sports venue and Garden City Cafe for their Thanksgiving dinners. I know the sports venue sent out or passed out close to 600 meals. And it was a
16.
long...
16.
I thought that's what I said. Yeah, there was a long line on Maplewood. I know when I got there and somebody had made it up there, they said they had been in line for 2.5 hours. So there were a lot of people lined up. Garden City Cafe, I stopped in there to see how they were doing. They were packed. Great meals, great causes, got donations, and we're donating to some good charities. So I wanted to thank the venue and the cafe and all the volunteers that took the time out to make the meals and serve them, deliver them, and I know there were a lot of happy people, so thank you to them. The parade was awesome. I want to thank all the volunteers for that. A lot of people lining Ford, Middle Belt mostly, a few on Ford Road also. Santa made his appearance there, and at the tree lighting ceremony, 2 great events, and again, good time was had by all. The Anne Frank play, I heard on the last one of her relatives that lives in Garden City was actually at the play and talked to some of the cast members. So that was kind of
Brian told me yesterday.
Unique. Whoever it was, and I didn't catch if it was a cousin or what, but it was a relative of Anne Frank. So you never know who'll show up in Garden City. I want to thank the fire department, DPS, everybody again that came out yesterday. I happened to stop by. There were 9 fire departments there, all the way from Livonia to Dearborn, everywhere in between, pretty much. Wayne County sent in their warming truck, their command center, which are very nice pieces of equipment, and helped out immensely. It was cold, and the firefighters were wet and cold, and I know a couple of restaurants that donated some food, brought some food down. Red Cross was there to give coffee and hot cocoa to the first responders that were there, so I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved. A lot of people, and again, nobody was hurt, so that's even better. Couple more things. It's snowing. It's been snowing a couple times already. I don't remember this many times where sidewalks are not getting shoveled. Businesses, residences. I don't know if it caught people by surprise, but we just had a big program of installing sidewalks, and people aren't shoveling them. Kind of defeats the purpose, and it's against our ordinances. So I would imagine if you don't get out there with the upcoming snows, I would imagine ordinance is going to be out there and giving you a little note to take care of that, as well it should be, so people can get out. And again, that is businesses and residential. Now the good news, and there's a couple of them. One, I want to thank Chad Taylor Jr. He was a 10-year-old that came up here and helped clean Kiwanis Park with his sisters, and we asked him how he came up with the idea, and I wish he would have talked about it, but he just said he was in the family car, they were driving by, and he said, man, that park is got a lot of litter. I want to go clean it. So he made flyers up, passed them out at school. Didn't get volunteers. His sisters volunteered to help him, and they went out there on that day and helped clean up Kiwanis Park. And I just think that's awesome, and I want to thank the Taylor family and Chad Jr. especially for that commitment. We don't get youth like that anymore that's willing to go that extra the extra step to go help. So that was awesome. And on that, I did get an email from our Garden City Figure Skating Club about some things going on there. And I just want to read a couple of paragraphs that she wrote me. This is Miss Mickey Roll, who's the president, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess it all up. It says there's some big things happening within the club. They had eight of their skaters qualified for the National Showcase this past summer, and of those skaters, our master duet, Alicia Sale and Carly Carter, brought home second place nationals silver medals. Our 2025 senior, Brooklyn Ambergy, committed to a highly ranked collegiate synchro team, Adrian, and 4 of our 10 Learn to Skate competitors placed in the top 3 in their respective levels throughout the series that earns points based on placement and how many competitions you attend. The more you attend, the more points you earn. So starting from our lowest level, Millie Schmidt took 3rd place in her overall Basic 6 Elements level. Raina Williams took 1st in both her Aspire 1 compulsory and free skate levels. Adriana Hills took 1st in both her Aspire 2 compulsory and Aspire 3 free skate levels. And Scarlett Roll, who took 1st in her Aspire 4 free skate, and 2nd in her Aspire 2 compulsory levels. So that's, the kids in the city are doing a tremendous job. They're going out, they're representing Garden City, and I think they should be recognized. I love recognizing them, as I said earlier. They're our future, and they're doing some really great things. And you can go back to the play, a very emotional play that all our students at the school did a phenomenal job putting on. So we got a lot of great youth in the city, and I'm really proud of that. I think it's awesome. No further business. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.